Hello everyone. In this session, we want to talk about the DHCP relay agent. The DHCP relay agent is a component that relays DHCP messages between DHCP clients and DHCP servers on different IP networks. Let us take a look at the scenario that we have here. In subnet 1, we have client computers, and these client computers get their IP address from the DHCP server on subnet 1. When the computer is turned on, the computer requests an IP address from the DHCP server along with other TCP IP information because the computer needs that information to communicate on the network. Now, looking over to the other subnet, subnet 2, we also have some computers on subnet 2, but subnet 2 does not have a DHCP server. But the clients on subnet 2 also need to communicate. So they need an IP address and the rest of configuration information from the DHCP server. What we can do is on subnet 2, we can install what we call the DHCP relay agent. And this DHCP relay agent is going to forward the request for IP information to the DHCP server on subnet 1. Now, ordinarily, messages would go through a router from one subnet to the other. But DHCP, because it is a broadcast-based protocol, by default, its packets do not pass through routers. So the DHCP relay agent that you would configure on subnet 2 is going to receive any messages, any request messages for IP information from the client machine, and it's going to pass that information onto the DHCP server on subnet 1, and subnet 1 will supply that information through that DHCP relay agent. Now, you cannot install the DHCP relay agent on a DHCP server. So the server in subnet 2 cannot be a DHCP server. If it were a DHCP server, then we would not need to relay any message for IP information to the DHCP server in subnet 1. So you cannot use the DHCP relay agent component on a computer that is running the DHCP service, or for that matter, a computer that is running network address translation routing protocol or internet connection sharing. We're going to take a look now to see how we would configure the DHCP relay agent. In order to configure the DHCP relay agent, we have to open routing and remote access, and we can open that from the tools menu on the server manager dashboard. So we are here right now in routing and remote access console, and we're going to configure the DHCP relay agent. The first thing that we want to do is we want to expand IP4. Then we want to right click on General and click on New Routing Protocol. The protocol that we want is a DHCP relay agent, so we're going to click on DHCP relay agent and then we're going to click on OK. After we have chosen the DHCP relay agent, we need to do an interface. We need to create a new interface, so we're going to right click and we're going to say New Interface. And this interface would be the interface on which the server might receive DHCP requests that you want to send to the DHCP server. So we're going to choose Ethernet as the interface that we want to use. And then we're going to click on OK. We come to the screen where we actually have the Ethernet properties, and we have here relay DHCP packets, and that's ticked off by default, and that specifies whether DHCP messages are relayed between DHCP clients on the subnet to which this interface is attached. And you can see that the box is checked off. Then we have the Conk Threshold, the second option here, and that is the maximum number of DHCP relay agents that will handle DHCP relayed traffic. You can simply click the arrow to select a new setting, but the default is 4 hops. The maximum value is 16 hops. Then the last option that we have here is the boot threshold. This is the number of seconds the relay agent waits before forwarding DHCP messages. You can also click that arrow there to select a new setting, but that default is 4 seconds. And this option is useful when you want a local DHCP server to respond first. But if the local DHCP server does not respond, you want to forward messages to a remote DHCP server. So we're going to leave the default settings and we're going to click on OK. We now want to look at the properties of the DHCP relay agent, because that is where we're actually going to type in the IP address of the DHCP server. So we're going to right click on DHCP relay agent. We're going to click on properties. And here we're going to type the address of the DHCP server, which resides in subnet 1. So we're going to type 192.168.1.0. Then we're going to click in the 4th field and type 5. So the address of that DHCP server in subnet 1 is 192.168.10.5. And remember, that is the server that is going to get the request from subnet 2. But because subnet 2 does not have a DHCP server, we are now configuring the DHCP relay agent with the address of the server in subnet 1. So we need to click on Add. Then we can click Apply, and we can click on OK. And that is how we configure that DHCP relay agent. So remember that the DHCP relay agent relays DHCP messages between the DHCP clients in a network that does not have a DHCP server. And it takes those messages and it sends the messages to the DHCP server on a different IP network that actually has a DHCP server that can give IP information. This is the end of our session. I want to thank you for listening.